Pain is one of the surest signs that you are still in the fight. It is proof that you have not surrendered to life, that the forces within you are still contending for your future. The very fact that you can feel pain means that something inside of you is still reaching for more. Pain is not the absence of strength. It is often the evidence that strength is being tested, developed, and matured. You see, if you were defeated, if you were truly finished, you would feel nothing. A body without life feels no pain. It is numb, it is silent. But a body still breathing, still moving, still hoping, that body feels every wound, every pressure, every weight. And so it is with your soul. If you are hurting today, it means there is still life flowing through your purpose. It means you are not done yet. I remember growing up in the islands of the Bahamas, we didn't have paved streets everywhere. We had rocky paths, thorns, and rough ground. As boys, we would run barefoot everywhere, jumping, climbing, racing. And every now and then, a sharp stone would cut our feet, or a thorn would pierce the skin. We would fall to the ground, crying out from the sting of it. I can still hear my grandmother's voice as she would call out from the kitchen, not rushing to pick us up, but saying, "Boy, get up." That pain means you're getting stronger. That pain means your feet are toughening up. At the time, I didn't understand it. I thought pain was punishment. But I lived long enough to realize that she was right. Pain was preparation. Pain was strengthening the very parts of me I would later need to stand tall, to endure the roads of leadership, betrayal, failure, and triumph. Pain was not my enemy. It was my tutor. And the same is true for you today. Every heartbreak you have endured, every disappointment you have suffered, every betrayal you have swallowed, every failure you have stumbled through, they were not sent to destroy you. They were sent to announce to you that there is something worth fighting for on the inside of you. You are still alive. You still have something to build, something to birth, something to become. When you feel the ache in your heart after a setback, remember, it's not death speaking, it's destiny calling. When you feel the sting of rejection, remember, it is not defeat, it is divine redirection. When you feel the loneliness of carrying a vision no one else can see, remember, you are not abandoned. You are being carved into the vessel needed to carry greatness. Pain is the language of progress. It speaks to us of areas being stretched, broken open, enlarged. It tells us that we are stepping beyond the familiar, beyond the comfortable, into the extraordinary. Don't despise your pain. Don't curse the days of tears. Don't resent the nights you spent questioning. Those moments were markers on the road to your destiny. Pain is the evidence that you are not just existing, you are evolving. If you can still feel it, you can still fix it. If you can still hurt, you can still heal. If you can still cry, you can still create pain. Reminds us that the story is not over. The best chapters of your life are not behind you, they are ahead of you. And every scar you carry will one day be a testimony that you lived, that you loved, that you overcame. Pain is proof that the seed of greatness inside of you refuses to die. Destiny is not birthed in comfort. It is not born in the easy places of life. It is not nurtured in the safety of the familiar. Destiny is conceived in the quiet places of your spirit, but it is delivered through seasons of discomfort, pressure, and pain. Just as a child must grow and struggle in the confinement of the womb before it can be born into the world, so too must your purpose stretch and strain against the walls of your limitations before it can be revealed. Nothing significant comes without struggle. Nothing worthwhile enters the world without a battle. Every great destiny is carried through seasons where the pressure seems unbearable, where you wonder if the promise will ever see the light of day. But the pressure is not punishment. The pressure is preparation. It is shaping you, stretching you, enlarging you for the weight of the blessing that is about to manifest. When a woman carries a child, there comes a point where the womb that once nourished and protected begins to restrict and press. What was once comfortable becomes tight. What was once easy becomes difficult. Movement becomes laborious. Sleep becomes rare. Breathing itself becomes a task. Why? Because the body knows that life cannot remain in confinement forever. Growth demands a transition. And that transition comes through travail. It is the same with your dreams. There comes a point when staying in the same place, thinking the same way, surrounding yourself with the same people and doing the same things becomes suffocating. Your spirit begins to rebel against the smallness. Your mind starts to ache for more. Your heart cries out for expansion. It is not a sign that something is wrong. It is a sign that something is about to be born. I remember sitting at the shoreline of Nassau, watching the tide come in. The waves would crash against the rocks, relentless, fierce. The rocks did not move, but the waves continued to press. And over time, those same rocks that once seemed immovable were reshaped, smoothed, even broken open by the persistence of the water. Destiny works the same way. The pressures you are facing today, financial, emotional, relational, spiritual, they are not your end. They are the waves shaping you, forming you, preparing you to emerge different than you entered. When God places greatness inside of you, He also places you in environments that will force that greatness to come forth. Just like the pearl is formed by the irritation inside the oyster, just like the diamond is formed by pressure in the dark bowels of the earth, so too your calling is formed in the hidden places where no one sees you cry, where no one understands your struggle, where no one applauds your effort. It is in those moments, those contractions of the soul, that the future is being pushed from potential into reality. And just like a woman in labor cannot stop the birthing once it begins, you cannot abort the process. You can cry, you can doubt, you can even scream. But once the contractions of destiny begin, once the hand of God starts moving, you are on a one-way journey to deliverance. You might feel like you're breaking, but you are only breaking free.